thought about this and recording it or not, but fuck it. Let's just go ahead and record something. What does it mean to be pro American today? What does it actually mean? I'm making this video, of course, because I'm basically responding to another video by Bo the Fifth Column. He is regurgitating bullshit from 2016, basically. It's the same thing with his take on uh racism, this and that. It's like if you travel more, you're gonna be less racist. I'm like, correlation does not equal causation, you know, right? Isn't that what they always say? So I don't believe that. But anyway, he came out with more of this whole, more Russia, sort of thing. More Russia is trying to destroy the United States. Look at the Soviet Union, this and that. I remember listening to this bullshit. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it made me realize what the mainstream left really is that they have become the true folks who care about the idea of America, what America could be, right? That's the whole idea of it, right? Is it if it was just less racist, if it was more accepting of people, that has never worked. It has never worked. See, the main flaw is that people think that they can change. It's like, no, people are who they are, you know? To me, broadly speaking, you have to take people at their word. And sometimes they do. But when you hear this nonsense where people are like, yeah, we can change those people. We need to argue with people at Thanksgiving, this and that over whatever. We need to lock people out of our house on Thanksgiving. There's this, fairly big tweet where this guy was like, yeah, I locked out my parents because they're anti-vaxxers and whatnot. I'm just like, oh, okay. And that's the way it goes, isn't it? Pro-American basically just means pro-government. You don't care about the people. I'll tell you that right now. You don't care. You just want, the government to do better, this and that, and you want to maintain your lifestyle. That's really what it is. That's what it means to be pro-American, is to maintain a better lifestyle and to get rid of that icky, yucky racism. That's all it means to be pro-American today. You can go ahead and be a magapede, this and that, but no, 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 no. Magapedes, magapedes who are saying you want civil war, you're not seen as pro-American anymore. That's not pro-American. Pro-American is accepting, the LGBTQIA, or LGBTQCIA movement that exists today. That is the true pro-American stance. And if you're not on board with that, you're against it. If you don't support BLM, et cetera, then you are against this, you know, system if you don't support it. You know, if you are an anti-vaxxer, you're against the system. If you believe in racial differences, you are against the system, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you're a Russian bot, et cetera, right? The thing is that Americans are so pussy because, of course, they're like, especially the libs and even, well, basically the American left today, where it's like, well, we don't want to be racist towards China. We don't want to do like ching chong ping pong jokes, but we also don't like China because they're like Nazis. It's the same thing with Russia, right? Russians are fascist, bro. Well, Russians have a healthy hatred of Americans, and that's understandable. It is. It's perfectly understandable. Um, It's just ridiculous to me where we are. That the narratives have changed so much that you think that accepting as many people into the country as possible is pro-American, or thinking that if we undo these racist institutions, which go ahead, I guess, but if when it goes too far, you can't go back. You know, um, we're headed towards a massive uh, awakening, but also a massive backlash. You know, a lot of folks, I think, will realize this, and I think a lot of magapeds may go further down the rabbit hole, but many will probably try to, find an easier way to, keep their house and be able to still have their boat so they can go fishing on the weekends, basically. They still want to have that sort of candidate, who's like, I just, they want to be racist libs, basically. They still want to have all their perks, but without, you know, just without black folks. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It never has and never will. Whether you want to talk about the Roman Empire, whether you want to talk about whomever else, you know. And of course, you want me to elaborate. I mean, the thing is, the Roman Empire. You can go ahead. I mean, I'll be dabbing on Nords here and dabbing on Germans, but people like Arminius were not seen as Roman, were they? And of course, he BTFO'd, you know, the Roman legions. And of course, they later did push back Arminius and everything else. So there's a larger story to it. But, you know, there are many reasons why the Roman Empire fell. And I don't know about all of them. But yeah, it's a messy thing. My point is is this country, for all of its benefits or whatever the case may be, as any other country, relies on a sense of understanding. And I think that does exist on a large scale still, but I think that that's breaking down, and people feel their loyalties for whatever reasons to whatever movements out there, and that's breaking things down. They all think that BLM is going to save everything. I prefer Black Power. Why would you care about lives? See, this is the whole thing: is that you've surrendered so much that you would rather just say Black Lives Matter. Why not just say Black Power? If power is eternal, lives are temporary. Why would you want to fight for a life? Think on that for a minute. Honestly, I'm just schizo ranting at this point, but this whole, we are gonna, you know, we're gonna fight Russia economically and we're gonna fight China economically. It's not gonna work. It isn't. You can go ahead and talk about whatever company you want to. I think that people just, like I say, there's plenty of lefties out there who genuinely think that if we just support the United States, then we can reform it, this and that. And like I say, the reformers took over long ago. Now some of this you can kind of say is that this was done by folks who wanted to get rid of the radicalism. But I think a lot of it came from just so many people getting locked up and the embarrassment that people felt because of the weather underground. But yeah, man, like I say, it's ridiculous to see this sort of thing. It's like we're gonna do all the naughty things, but we're just not gonna be racist about it. We're not gonna do the buck tooth Tojo posters like we did in World War II against Japan. We're not gonna do that. No, 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 no. We're not racist. Course, you talk to the soldiers on the ground, they're gonna make, plenty of, Chinese jokes and zipper head and all that other stuff. But, it's a whole different thing the way it's presented today. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoy this video where I didn't bother to plug in the mic and my voice sounds like shit. But anyway, y'all enjoy. Goodbye.